Hey, hi, how are you? My name is Holt. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we are looking at the new standard again. What is this deck? This is a deck that I have seen posted around a few places. It looks like it won some events very recently on MTG Online. Some of their, I don't recall if it was best of one or best of three, but I've seen this exact deck list floating around a little bit, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I didn't change anything other than switching the tri-lands. I believe the original deck ran 4 headquarters, 2 towers, and I'm running 3 and 3 because that's just what I have. The rest of it is basically as is. It is just some standard ass blue-white control, just with a lot of basics in order to use Thirst for Discovery effectively, and a lot of basics to use Farmhand effectively, so that you can just get extra lands in hand to be able to discard for Thirst for Discovery, so you can refill and hit your big stuff like Teferi, Sunfall, Emperor, you know. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim does sit in a really good spot in this deck and will probably help you win games a lot more than he used to. He is probably your biggest win con, right behind Eternal Wanderer, and that is mostly because it is much harder for a lot of decks to target Planeswalkers nowadays. It is especially hard for them to be able to target Planeswalkers while you're holding up like Make Disappears, which you can sack Farmhands to, or while you're holding up Soul Partition, able to exile your own guy and bring him back in a turn or two. I've heard good things about it. Let's hop into the queue and see if it stands up. Opponent's going first. We have a pretty okay starting hand, and honestly, I'm just going to keep it. That's a lot of land, which means that we won't draw it. And we have a way to get rid of more lands in our deck, so we won't draw it, right? Double Soul Partition is really good. That's a huge tempo play into any deck that runs black right now. Life of Toshiro Umezawa. I guess we hold off on our farmhand then. No reason to let my farmhand die to this guy for no reason. And then we just have Make Disappear in order to make something disappear. Like, say, tons of free card draw. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Alright, well, my opponent didn't like the fact that I countered one spell, so obviously the deck is S tier. On to the next. Opponent goes first. We have tons of ways of dealing with stuff, including Thirst for Discovery and Lay Down Arms and Soul Partition. Something I don't think I've remembered to mention in the intro, the reason that she run the Tri-Lands and all the planes is so that Lay Down Arms will never miss effectively. It will miss, technically speaking. There will be times when it doesn't have a target to hit, but it will quote-unquote never miss stuff because you run so many planes. Looks like my opponent is playing some form of mono white over there. Totally fine by me. That's probably a matchup that we will win, especially if we counter their wedding announcement on curve here. Or their Steel Seraph. The reason we're holding stuff like this is we want to be able to Thirst for Discovery and discard this basic. Technically speaking, we could have just laid down arms on that Steel Seraph, but I don't really think that would have been the greatest decision. My opponent might be trying to go for a Wandering Emperor. Yep, they are. What else do you play when you're tapping out with 4 open mana? Yeah, we'll go ahead and drop that. We don't really have a need to play much of anything here. Huh? Why did you just sit there with 4 open mana and not play a single spell, opponent? Because they wanted to main phase Sarah Paragon. That is strange. Do we have enough for that? That's a 4-drop. We don't have enough basics for that. That's fine though. We'll just get rid of it with a Soul Partition here in a second, and then use the farmhand to work towards being able to get rid of it in a different way. Wrong button. My opponent will probably have a board wipe of some kind, so I'm just going to all invest on this one little guy.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Why bother to giga invest in other ways if I don't have to? We do have 3 basics now. Thirst for Discovery. Feeling pretty good. Elish Norn, huh? That is... I can't kill that, can I? No, I can't. We'll just work our way towards a Sunfall, I think.
For the sake of the future, I will defend the past. There is much the past can teach us.
Yeah, we're just going to work our way towards a Sunfall here. And just get Teferi on board to make him do big Teferi things. They could have Ossification, but they do have 2 Planeswalkers to worry about. Something interesting I noticed from looking at the deck list, this deck doesn't run Farewell. which I find to be really interesting. I think it's because the meta has shifted to be a lot more creature focused because there are just so many good legendary creatures that everyone just wants to play all the good legendary creatures. And the only deck that it like giga hits is
Every job is an opportunity to
interesting.
learn more about this.
Oh, they're gonna -3 to hunt for something. I think I have a laydown arms, huh? It is only mana value 3 or less though. Yeah, wedding announcement, not really a big deal. We can flip this on the upcoming turn. We can also just lay down arms on Elish Norn, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, cinco. That is Spanish for 5. Okay. Alright, well this is going to make life pretty easy. Keep on drawing. It's a good card to
Another
hit.
mystery solved.
Bonk. No reason to swing into face. We don't want them to gain life for no reason. And we have tons of ways to get cards into our hand. Or maybe just flip the Amphibious farmhand to make a 3/3 lifelinker to just kind of start slamming into my opponent here. Restoration of Iganjo. They get an extra planes. Maybe they're going to play out another wedding announcement. That'll be a little annoying, but we would be able to eventually sunfall the board. Alright, they either don't have anything to play, or they just don't want to play anything. Doesn't look like they have anything to play. We're just going to use Teferi to keep drawing cards, honestly.
I am here
We can give them a little bit of life here. No reason to worry about that when we're swinging in for 9 each turn at the moment.
I have got new moves to teach you.
And we can get a lot of cards in hand after this by Memory Deluging into Thirst for Discovery, which will be really nice. What do they have that's 2 mana value down there? A Plains? They're using... You know they're in a bad state when a Ganjo is mana ramp. Whew! Let's go hunting for maybe a counterspell. To be fair, we can technically soul partition our own Cathar here.
All leave with our
They can't minus it because I just make more stuff. So they're kind of in a rough position that they kind of want to plus it, but then it dies anyways. I think it depends what they do as to what we do. If they minus it, I just genuinely do not care. If they zero it, we just soul partition the thing. We could also just soul partition the thing and just make it cost 1 billion mana.
I bought us some time.
Make a little guy, a little bud guy, bud.
Must protect the people.
Let's just main phase Memory Deluge and go hunting for some cool stuff. Get those, for example. No reason not to just keep on swinging. Interesting. They don't have much going on over there from the looks of it then. Oh, thanks for my guy back. That means I get a free land. Thanks. Get to thin out my deck more. I wonder what my opponent's going to start working towards. I feel like we just want to work towards our own Eternal Wanderer here. Sarah Paragon for like 1 million mana. Go to the basic. We can also just like Ultimate Art Teferi now, can't we? Yeah, which
I don't know about you, but I'm about
they get to put one thing back in their hand and then the other 2 go back to their library. Meaning they can maybe get back a Sarah Paragon or something, but I think because of this costing me 0 mana, they just die? Because that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I get to flip it. which I believe is 10-11, and include a plus from the Wandering Emperor.
Show them how we
Yep,
treat
that is lethal. Let's go! That was a fun little line. That right there is why Teferi feels good again, though. They didn't have an ossification or like a fateful absence for some reason, so guess we just got lucky. We also drew half our deck, so you know that's pretty good too. GG's mono white. We're going first with a really good hand. I really like this hand. Lots of basics for Thirst. Ambitious Farmhand to get us extra things for our laydown arms. And it's even better now that we hit a Teferi, which is another way to draw some lovely, lovely cards. My opponent probably playing Grixis or Rakdos in some way, shape, or form. It makes this even better. Give him a little boop on the snoot. Looks like it is some form of potentially Rakdos. I don't really think Rakdos survives without Fable. Be gone. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. Get some more planes. We could play Teferi. We have so many basics that this guy's gonna have a hard time. Shieldred. We could just main phase Sunfall. Honestly, don't hate it. We get a 3/3. Does my opponent have another Shieldred? Because for some reason I swear they travel in packs. No, they just have an Obnixilis, who unless they make a little guy for, is gonna die.
Oh, I have a job for you.
That's tempting. Let's just draw some cards.
Don't feel bad when you lose.
Shieldred's Edict.
Quite a tough
Let's go.
opponent.
What a draw. Holy cow. Come on, play Shieldred's Edict. We both know you have it. Or is it a Braid? Oh my goodness, they played a Braid. Anyways. I hope they play more creatures. Decline. I have no reason to care.
Plead for mercy.
I think we make a little 2/2 after this. No reason not to.
Back off. I'm trying to be discreet.
We'll go ahead and play the Thirst for Discovery main phase and see what we find ourselves grabbing. Honestly, the Memory Deluge can go. And then that can go. Some loyalty counters. Draw some more cards. This Teferi is going to be a pain for them to get rid of.
There is much the past can teach us.
Exile that so they don't have a blocker. And I guess play this and then we can cycle the tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have 7 mana, so we can
By coin or carnage, tribute is owed.
nice. I don't know if I have a way to draw a card, but we will exile that. Let's go ahead and draw a card. Ah, there we go. That's what we needed. We needed a Wandering Emperor. I don't know why they scooped. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they just realized that Teferi was a ticking time bomb, and that I probably had other ways of living. I'm going to assume that this was Ob, like the newest Obnixilis was the actual deck. The one that like goes infinite with one of their cards. But either way, GG Rakdos. Opponent goes first. We have a laydown arms and a Thirst for Discovery and double Emperor. It feels okay. It feels keepable. We could always just Thirst and then pray to hit a basic. We have enough in the deck. We have like 16 or so. So we should probably hit a basic and be fine. Of course, my opponent would have to play the game. There they go. Now they're kicking. Mountain Pass. Ah, that's why. On the plus side, we do have this for Thirst. They play a 3-drop, we just get rid of it. Oh, that's like a 0-drop. Nice. Alright. Farewell. Not literally, but, you know, goodbye. Triple Wandering Emperor feels pretty good. Probably some type of is it aggro stormy nonsense. Getting another Thirst is pretty nice there. Okay, so what is my opponent actually playing? Because it's clearly not actually is it. Do you play counter spells over there? What the fucking fuck? Oh, they're playing turns. Okay. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? They're playing Is It Turns. That's the only fucking deck that bothers to run a counter magic spell like that. Do I get to play the game, or are you just going to sit there, you know, appendages in hand, so to speak?
Must contend guards to me.
Really? Alright. We'll just... You know, let's just try and main phase this and see if they let me get away with it. Alright, drop that basic. Play that, so we get a double blue. Mind Splice Apparatus? No, just big score. So they drop Nahiri's Warcrafting, even though that's an amazing way to kill this and get a card. Is my opponent okay? I don't think my opponent is, in fact, okay. That's Sushi. Alright. Are they trying to do the deck where you go infinite with Atsushi? I'm very confused. Well, we still have Emperor, so I don't really know if I care.
I hope you're ready to lose.
What is my opponent playing? I don't understand. This is so strange.
I have got new moves to teach you.
My opponent hasn't played anything other than, like, Big Score and Shivan Devastator. Invasion of Tarkir. Okay. Are you going to reveal a dragon so that I can know what you're doing? And well, they're playing Kairi. We know just to slam Memory Deluge here and go hunting for stuff like that. Wunderbar.
I guess that's it.
I don't know what my opponent is playing. You're tapping out for that. You want to play it, you are paying it full mana costed, getting rid of all your treasures. Okay, good talk. It's dead now. Bye bye. Thank you for the 1-1. Got rid of all their treasures, that's really nice. We will slowly begin the beatdown next. Never mind! Why wouldn't they have their third? I guess when you're already halfway through your deck, there's not much else to do, huh? Go ahead and flip. My opponent clearly has something in hand. That's absolutely what that was. It was a... We're doing this so we can hold up Memory Deluge. We have no reason to start being the one who attacks in, though.
Another mystery solved.
Another Sunfall is pretty nice. Why do you run Xander's? I guess to be fair, it does have problems with their mana base right now. Is it mana base is really weird. I still don't know what my opponent's actually playing, though. It's incredibly confusing. So it's Mana Form. And they're going to play a bunch of other spells so that Teferi can die. I'm just going to Sunfall their Mana Form. Nahiri's Warcrafting. Here we come. We're just going to go searching for some cool stuff. Make Disappear will be great, as will Lay Down Arms for... Well, you know.
Running out of time.
That doesn't flip Invasion of Tarkir, luckily for me. Go ahead and flip it so there's something for Make Disappear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana from the opponent, so I do need to be careful. Are we allowed to play the Wandering Emperor? Ah, the Eternal Wanderer resolves. Let's start getting rid of their treasure.
The entire multiverse. Patience.
Take away their free mana. My opponent might just deck themselves at this rate. Unfortunately, Make Disappear gets worse and worse and worse as these games go on. One of the reasons why I wondered why people just run Make Disappear so much. Getting rid of that so they can't have their fun little toy.
I bought us.
End of turn, and now we're ready to start using Eternal Wanderer to cause problems. Let's go digging. Oh, nope, they're done now. I still don't know what my opponent was playing, other than, is it dragons? Incredibly confused by this matchup. I'm going to look through their graveyard and see if I can't figure it out any better than is it dragons, but I really don't think so. I think it's just like a budget build, is it dragons? But like, why is Reject Imperfection in here? It doesn't make any sense. That's the big one that makes me, I guess, for Shivan Devastator? This is some strange homebrew that my opponent has, and I guess they were just like, oh, I'm going to refill my hand again. I'm in trouble, and they left. Either way, GG's. Opponent goes first. We have 3 mana and plays at 4 mana. And we got our 4th mana, so we're feeling pretty confident and comfortable. Soul Partition is amazing this early, as is Memory Deluge and Make Disappear. Here comes the wedding announcement on curve. Nope, this is Angels. Spicy. We need to find more basics. Thank you, Ambitious Farmhand. I don't know if this is mono white Angels or just like they just happen to only have mono white sources, but having some deja vu. I feel like I played a deck like this in the same video, but they're just using more Angels instead, I suppose. I do believe this is going to be a Slam to Fairy turn here, just so we can start hunting for proper cards. Or we could play Memory Deluge. Yeah, this is a Memory Deluge turn now. Go ahead and exile that way. Now we just play Memory Deluge when they tap out. To be fair, it looks like they're playing mono white Angels. But we're just going to go hunt down a Sunfall, because Sunfall will get around their big boy threats. They're holding on to something over there, I see. Another Memory Deluge. It's never bad. That won't get big enough to kill Teferi, so we just don't care, and we just use him to draw cards.
Finish running from battles I might not. Now that is an interesting fact.
Using Teferi to draw cards here will be wunderbar. And if they Fateful Absence him, well, we just, you know, things go better for us. We know the Memory Deluge to hunt down our next Sunfall, so we are feeling pretty good. Boombringer Valkyrie. Interesting. Well, obviously they're now just going to choose, Vigilant. If they don't, I feel like they're kind of insane. Considering it has everything else. There they go, they get... So yeah, just mono white Angels over there for our opponent. We just really want our board wipes. Teferi's drawing aggro, so I can continue to just draw cards and not care. Profiteer, as it were.
Much to consider.
We want to exile that, because if it ever gets brought back, we're in more trouble. Yeah, we can do this, and then still hold up Memory Deluge. Cool! Cool. And also technically hold up Wandering Emperor, which... Whoop! Going full Zoidberg, I apologize, but I did not mean to do that. Alright. Slam Sarah Paragon, yeah. This is the other reason why I wanted to hit that exile. This swings in, we exile with Emp. I want my card draw. You stay back from my card draw. Thank you, come again.
My judgment.
Sunfall! Sure! Get rid of that so it can't come back either. Play that. Draw a card. I feel no reason to not flip it, so I can put a +1 counter on. I normally wouldn't do that. I'd normally wait to not display that I'm out of mana, but I wanted the +1 counter on it instantly. I feel like my opponent probably has
You're safe now.
just Angels, yeah. Giada with a thing, not bad. Thank you for the free life, opponent. I do appreciate that. Alright, let's remember Deluge and hunt for something cool. You're cool. And you're cool.
Remember your training.
Darn, we are getting a
There
little
is much
unluckers.
the past can teach us.
Yeah, we're going to remember Deluge. We're going to hunt for a soul partition so we can get rid of that. Potentially another Sunfall.
This is your fight. Win it.
Or soul partition to maybe just get rid of Giada. I just realized that we're out of mana to play soul partition, but that's fine. We're grabbing these headquarters so that we can just like start cycling. Doesn't matter that they die there. Doesn't really bother me.
Cross again.
Enduring Angel. Interesting. We will partition that away, probably. Let's start with Eternal Wanderer. Get rid of Giada. Do they have a way to protect it? They have something. We will go ahead and make a creature. We will go ahead and play a
Nice
basic
to see
there.
A familiar face.
And we have our partition in order to get that thing the heck on out of here. Do you have a way to protect it? No, you do not. Alright, well, you're going to have to pay 7 mana for that now. Sheesh, they played 7 mana. Get rid of that.
You're coming with me.
Draw and card.
Mystery solved.
I either kill Elspeth or Giada dies. Either way, I'm feeling pretty confident. We have more than enough blue mana.
Retreat
We'll
is
end turn, and we'll probably Deluge here at some point. I hope they don't run Farewell. My whole graveyard is good stuff. I think my opponent is floundering a tad. We're really just hunting for another Sunfall. I believe we run 3. They shouldn't be too far away.
Is that all?
Wait, hang on. We haven't hit a Sunfall. Oh, no, there it is. I'm saying, have we hit a Sunfall? We have. We have. Yeah, thanks for the free life, opponent. That's great. Soul Partition's good, as is Lay Down Arm. We'll grab them. We'll go ahead and bounce her now so that this doesn't come in any bigger. There it is. Fucking finally. They've been sitting on that for 12 goddamn years. Alright, come on, Sunfall. That's not a Sunfall. We're like halfway through our deck. Where are our other Sunfalls? Honestly, we could just cycle at least one. We can cycle another as well, can't we? And maybe find a Sunfall? Ooh, baby, baby. Get rid of those. Go make a 2/2 now. And that should more or less clean things up. I can't imagine my opponent will have much of a way to come back from a lot of this, especially once I lay down arms on them. Why are you running Ambitious Farmhand? I don't... Also, we get to Ultimate Teferi after this, which will be just lovely, meaning that they only get to hold one of those in their hands. Ah, there it is. They've realized their folly. They only get to keep one of the two of them, meaning that they have to decide on one or the other. It clears out the board. It lets me start getting damage in. It gives me a turn of freedom. I can maybe like counterspell on the way back. You get it, viewers. You get it. GG's. And that'll do it for this video. This one's a little shorter, but this deck isn't exactly brand new tech. I was just showing off how it works in this current meta. One thing to note, I ran into Mono Red twice, and I didn't include the games, because I was on the draw, they were on the play, and they had explosive hands that just ripped me to shreds. I do think that this deck is probably a little better suited to best of 3, that way you can take out Make Disappears and slot in Negates and Disdainful Strokes. Maybe include a Farewell if you're going up against an Enchantments deck, so that you can really slam it. But yeah, overall I think that... the deck's good. The deck's powerful. The deck will probably do pretty good in best of 1. I would consider including some Elspeth Smites as 1-drop removal spells, maybe cutting a land or two, or maybe just dropping Lay Down Arms entirely for Elspeth's Smite, depending on the matchup. Probably more of a sideboard option. I would absolutely say include a full playset of them. I do believe there is another card that is used much more in Pioneer. Here it is. Knockout Blow. This is another card that you should include as a sideboard option. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a red creature, and it deals 4 damage to target attacking creature or blocking creature, and you gain 2 life. It's a restoration of a... No, that's not the name. It's an Iganjo Seed of the Empire in terms of like damage amount and how it activates. And if you're playing into red, it's life gain and killing creatures. Amazing sideboard option. I don't know why it's not played more. I think it's because it's so hyper-specific. This is one of those, you slot 2 into your sideboard for best of 3 meta, and then you will sometimes use it if you are playing into mono red or just some form of red aggro deck. But otherwise, Elspeth's Smite, probably better. Lay Down Arms, probably better. Overall, the deck feels really good. I really like whoever designed it. I think they did a really good job with it. Like I said, I would link it down below, but I don't know who did it. I know this is shorter, but I am trying to pump out videos as well. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that stuff. It helps me and the channel out quite a bit. And I hope to catch you in the next one.